Uh, yeah. Hi, everybody. I I'm a writer. I started serializing my work over on Royal Road because having a schedule helps me write faster. Um, the story is a dark fantasy with sort of Victorian Gothic overtones, necromancy, fairies, all that good stuff. I just finished the second book. It's still being serialized right now, and hopefully I'll have it published soon this summer. Yay! No! I wonder if I I can apparently send links. Let's Nope. Okay. Hmm. Oh no. I can hear you. Well, obviously I can hear you. Hey chat, can you hear me?
Oh my gosh, my mic was oh, that's so embarrassing. Okay, I'm so sorry. Hi everybody. Welcome to the stream with all of the scuff and all of the scuff and all of the scuff.
Okay,
Okay,
awesome, great.
wonderful. um all right. I'm sorry that the links in chat are not working. Yeah, maybe it is your fault, buddy. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Dude, I love you. I'm kidding. Um it's just my default luck. Um so anyway, let's get to talking about good stuff, right? Oh man, my chat isn't even working. That's fantastic. That's
Well, it can only get better
There
from
we
here,
go.
so.
Right, it can. There we go. We got a chat box now. All right. Howdy friends. Everything's great. Um so we started by having you kind of talk about the book for a second. What I would love to know before we get started with anything else is, because you are serializing on Royal Road,
Mhm.
you're cranking out chapters like a madwoman. Are you a planner or a pantser? The world is so intricate. I can't imagine you're not a planner, but you're so fast.
I am actually not fast at all. The only reason the last couple of chapters have been released quickly is because they were basically half written like a year ago.
Oh, that's fun though.
So when I show up to the new chapters, so I'm like, oh, okay, great, they're half written, so I'm halfway done. That's the best. Um, Now I'm trying to start book 3, and I have no chapters written, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well,
So
I'm sorry. Did you have anything else to say?
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, so hopefully I'll get better at writing faster.
I
but yeah, I do
totally believe
plot
in you.
in thank you. I do in general have a vague plot, but if something else comes up, then I'll add chapters or rearrange things. And
Right. So the story has such a huge, colorful cast of characters. I love magic naturally, but no. Honestly, I really enjoyed Lizzie, and then Siofra stole the show and my heart. I was wondering, is Pierre your favorite to write about, or is there someone else?
Pierre's probably one of my favorite. Um, the the dark horses that showed up out of nowhere was Valentine and Nina,
Oh, they
who
were
were
so cute.
they were originally just sort of throwaway. Okay, I need random people that they meet up with, and then they just showed up
Oh,
and
hey, thanks for the follow.
oh yay, had these huge personalities, and I'm like, you know what, I need more of them. So now they have, names and backstories,
Ah, thanks, Coco.
and hopefully I'll have to make portraits of them soon too.
Oh man,
Um,
I love the portraits you do. They're so much fun. It's Art Breeder, right?
yeah, yeah, that website's great. Because I can't draw very well, and I've had these images in my head of how everybody looks, and I can never convey it correctly. And Art Breeder lets me get down to the nitty gritty and get really detailed, and it's super fun.
It lends such a great style. I totally agree with Coco.
In terms of other characters, I do like Vivian a lot,
Yeah,
and
he was surprisingly fun.
yeah, he's less black and white than you think, and then it gets really sort of twisty
Mm-hmm.
in a way. And yeah, Shifra's also great, but I like all of my characters. I don't think I don't like any of them. Um, the more I get into them, the more I find out about them, and I'm like, okay, you need 700 chapters now.
Awesome. So, do you have any literary influences or favorite subjects or styles that you were trying to imitate or write like?
I read a lot of fairy tales when I was a kid. The classic Brothers Grimm and Hans Christian Andersen, where magic was like super normalized,
Mm.
and then it happened to be super dark at the same time. Like most fairy tales ended with people dying in terrible ways, but they tend to cut that out of Disney. And then I got into Edgar Allan Poe when I was in middle school, and I was like, you know what, fine, I'm doing dark things now.
I can see that. I could definitely see that influence. Um, let's see, what else do I have for you here? Um, for your minor characters, or not even minor, just since they all get good spotlight. I ended up really loving Wolfram and Salome's plot. So which romantic pair do you think has the most compelling story?
Um, I actually feel like I probably should add more chapters for Wolfram and Salome because I don't think they had enough. Um, but they do get more in book 3, so hopefully that'll make up for
Yes.
it. Um, because I think originally a lot of these characters were older when I first started these stories.
Okay.
So when I backed it up and made them a bit younger, then I'm like, oh wait, what do I do now? I know their personalities from 5 years from now.
Oh, hey Jin. Hey dude, thanks for hosting. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, sorry, 1 minute. People keep trying to call me.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Mamushu?
You we've been
Yes.
Oh, thanks for the follow. We've been just talking about the courting of life and death. VMJ here's great series. Got some writer pals in the chat, and she is unfortunately assaulted by phone calls right now, so she will be back in just a moment.
Yeah, hi, I'm back.
You are
Sorry,
back.
people forgot.
No,
People
it's
forgot that I said that I was going to be unavailable, and they decided all to call me at once.
well, hopefully they'll watch and they'll be
Hopefully they'll
properly
watch the
shamed.
stream, yeah.
Oh hey, thanks for the follow. So we were talking about the different pairs.
Yeah, yeah, I think in general, I think Pierre and Lizzie have one of the more compelling stories. hopefully.
I definitely love them.
Especially the fact that currently Elizabeth does not know about Pierre doing any dark magic.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't plan on telling her. So, and then we have this sort of extra part where Maura's sort of in the background testing Elizabeth and like showing her
Their interactions have been so good. The
cut.
Sorry, I'm I'm babbling because I
No,
love
go ahead,
all of the
please.
things that you have written. Oh my gosh.
Thank
Up
you.
to and including Maura's story time with the two hounds.
Yeah,
That
I
was
like how
so adorable. And
I
by
hope that
adorable I
worked
mean
as a metaphor.
it was not adorable in the sense that it was cute, but it's about dogs, so of course it's cute.
Of
Because
course it is. Dogs are always the best.
dogs. And speaking of Maura, sorry to throw a curveball at you. I know I gave you some questions in advance, but do you want to credit the artist who did the picture that you're using right now?
Oh yeah, the anime picture.
Because we
Yes,
have
if
you dashingly dressed as Maura for the time being.
yes, if oh gosh, if I could remember and find the link, I would credit it. Oh gosh, where is
We
it?
can just drop a link in the we can drop a link later.
All right, I did find them on Reddit. Um and it is a very great image.
Yeah, it's super.
I ended up using it sort of for like an anime cover for a couple weeks, but then I went with slightly more realistic art breeder covers. But I still really like this image, so
I
I
love
use
the
it when I can.
I love that you have so many different covers because it's interesting to see different aspects of your work get highlighted by the different covers.
Yeah, I just changed the cover a few weeks ago. One of my friends was like, "Yeah, you'll get more views and more links if you change up the cover occasionally." And I was like, "But what about brand recognition?" And they're like, "No." So I just went ahead, okay, and I just tried a different cover and I got like 10 new followers.
Wow, go figure. I should make some alternate covers for my stuff if I could ever work on it.
You should. I
Anyway,
like your stories too.
oh, thank you. Anyway, the Fae ended up being a way more important to your story than I thought they'd be. Because, you know, it's billed as this macabre romance, but little did I know they were fairies doing amazing things. It was a huge, pleasant surprise and a reason I couldn't put the book down at all. So what do you think makes your fairy mythos most unique?
I kind of wing it as I go along.
That
I'm
seems
taking
pretty
bits
true
and
to the spirit of the creatures, though.
that's also true. That helps. I just take bits and pieces from random mythologies that sound good and put my own spin on them. Um, it's odd because the fairies are sort of a late game addition
Really, never would have thought.
because yeah, the okay, I first started writing this series like okay, I was 14, so now I'm not gonna reveal my age. But that was like 17 years ago. No, was it? Can I do math? No, I can't do math. That's not
Math
right.
is terrible. We hate math. We are all about the words.
But yes, some Coco knows how old I am. Good job. Thanks. I guess I
Thanks,
revealed
Coco.
it before.
Math doxing.
So yes, so and back then it was just like a role play that I was doing on DeviantArt
Oh wow, go figure. That's
because
really fun.
I wanted to make a new set of characters just for role playing so that it wouldn't mix up with my other writing. Because the problem was that I'd start doing roleplay stuff and I was like, oh, these characters want their own story. I'm going to take them away now. Bye. And that's exactly what happened with this one anyway, so I guess it didn't change much.
Yeah, I've done a lot of text-based roleplay stuff in the past and not so distant past. So I totally hear you. That stuff is a great creative outlet.
It is, and it's very addictive.
Absolutely.
But originally, the sort of side species that was mostly involved was vampires. Kier was actually a vampire originally.
Huh, go figure.
And at a certain point, I decided to focus more on the necromancy, and I thought that the vampire-ness was overtaking that. So I changed that, and then I realized there was still something missing, some sort of other concept, and I went, okay, I'll just do classic old school fairies.
Nice.
And it somehow fit really well.
Pulling the vampire drafts out of the vault would definitely be interesting. Yeah, Coco, I totally agree.
I wonder if I have that somewhere. I might have to, I probably do.
I
But
save a lot
vampires
of
do
my old roleplay stuff in like weird places, so I wouldn't be surprised if you had some of yours like scrawled in a corner of a notebook that's still surviving from a decade ago.
probably. There are eventually vampires. They were supposed to show up. Well, they kind of show up a bit.
They do, yeah.
Near the end of this book, but and they show up a bit more later on. But Kier's not currently a vampire, so we're staying with the fairy.
It was
fairy
a really
aspect.
good. It was really fun to see that he had the Fae heritage, and to see how it kind of played into his relationships with people who were for and against them, and his dramatic doctor moment was with the Fae girl was was so good. I felt like I was watching a medical drama.
Good. I love that scene. I like it when people pull rank and just, you know what? No, I'm clearly more important than you. Go away.
Another kind of left field question, just something else that I was curious about, since the characters are so rich and great. Do you have any playlists with songs that make you think of the plot or the characters? And if my chat will cooperate with links, do you have Spotify that you can share with us? You definitely don't have to if you don't want to. But if you've got like a public Spotify with your...
I don't really have a Spotify. I could probably throw some YouTube links out. I tend to listen to a lot of anime soundtracks.
Oh, that's my jam. You're preaching to the choir here.
In terms of that, Black Butler soundtrack, definitely. A lot of that is sort of very Victorian-ish based.
Okay.
Actually, I think Black Butler is the reason I decided to go Victorian. Because originally it was more sort of straight medieval. Huh. But then I decided I wanted to make a bit of a change, and I'd been watching Black Butler. I'm like, you know what, let's move it up a few hundred years and make it Victorian era.
Dungeon synth? That sounds really awesome, too. Sorry, I'm peeking at chat at the same time.
Yeah. That's true, Dungeon synth is great. And for some reason, the ending theme to, what was it? Gundam Seed Destiny, I've decided is the theme of this series.
I am a huge Gundam nerd, so you're talking my language 100%. That's something by Fiction Junction, right?
Yeah, probably.
So I was actually gonna say I bet Yuki Kajira is probably a great influence.
I love Yuki Kajira. She's my favorite composer ever. The Dot Hack soundtrack, Madoka soundtrack.
Madoka soundtrack, heck yes.
So yes, lots of lovely anime.
All right. Xenosaga, yes. Oh, such good
Right
music.
Hand of God is in. I think I have stories set in a pseudo-India, and I'm pretty sure Right Hand of God is in that playlist from Black Butler.
All right. That ends the scripted portion of our segment here. In that I don't have a ton planned to ask you otherwise. Did we want to open it up to chat to see if anyone else had any questions about the book or your writing or...
Sure.
Or anime music?
Yeah, exactly. It devolves into anime OST talk.
Oh, Hack Sign is so good. Definitely.
I physically own the .hack sign OSTs.
Oh, that's so fantastic. I think I
I
still have my physical copy of Fiction.
hmm Yeah, when I first started listening to anime soundtracks, they didn't have things like downloads yet.
Yeah, same.
So I had to import CDs from Japan. It was like $50 a CD, but you know it was worth it.
Hey, Hanu! Dude, how's it going? Eyes emoji right back at ya. So we do have a question. Is your series a trilogy or a standalone web novel?
It's a series, but I'm writing the whole series as one certain web novel that just is a continuous thing. I do mention in the chapter titles which book it is, so that you know in case you want to go buy the actual book or reference what you're reading. Um, I have like I just finished book 2, and I have like 20 planned.
That's a lot. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
That is so awesome. And Coco was asking, do you ever write a racier version of The First Visit with Death? It was already pretty risque, but I was wondering if there was a draft you had to tone down.
No, that's about as risque as I get. I try and keep things PG-13-ish in terms of sensual content, but violence is a go. Violence is all good.
Oh, wow, I can't parse names at all. That's Richie. Hey, how are you doing? Um, and we also have another question. Can you go a bit into your plotting methods?
I have a timeline program that's really neat called Aeon Timeline. AEON Timeline. So I just sort of pick the dates and write what happens and see how long events takes and just sort of go from there.
Your timelines are crazy detailed.
Yeah, I originally they weren't as detailed. Um and then again with the help of said timeline program, I decided to just write the date above every chapter because I know half the people reading will skip it, but the nerdy half that wants to know everything will appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. What other indie web novels can you recommend for binge reading?
Ooh, if you liked my story, there's one by Vera Ann Wolf called Calamity of a Reborn Witch, and that has similar vibes to it.
Oh, that's been on my to read for ages.
I would recommend it. It's very great, and I really like her work too.
All right. And we have another. Ah, my headphones just fell out. Hold on. My headphones, please come back. Oof. Sorry about that.
That's fine, no problem.
I like trip over my own cables all the time. Um, let's see. What else is there? Um, I'm reading over some of my notes. And yeah, speaking of things that you maybe toned down or had to tone down, in the first Suitor, we get some backstory about Maura's first Suitor, and his fate is horrible. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. Um, I actually, yeah, that was part of the scenes. Occasionally, I'll just write scenes that are either backstory or just sort of mythos based. Um, I actually just took those down from World Road and made them Patreon exclusive.
Oh, hey.
Um, because I honestly wasn't sure whether I was going to put them in the physical book or not. So I was like, you know what, I'll just make them Patreon exclusive.
Okay. I think you left it up on Neovol though, so
Oh,
if
I
you want
did.
to take it down, because I was reading it on there, and
Well,
that's
if it's
right.
still up there, that's fine. I might take it down later. Um, that was actually I actually wrote that. There was a writing prompt on Reddit about you had a date with death and it didn't go well. and I was like, oh, I can do this, and then I just sort of ran with it and came up with this whole backstory as I was typing. And yeah, his ending is not good. I try and give most people eventual happy endings, but sometimes things get really, really dark in the meantime.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Things are fantastic that way. So, another question for you from chat is, what inspires you to write?
I've always really made up stories. I remember being like a kid, like 8 years old, and just making up stories where I was a werewolf or a vampire, or both at the same time.
Yes.
And at a certain point, I realized, oh, I can write these down, and then other people can read them too. And I started writing, and I don't think I ever really stopped. I like reading, and I like creating different worlds, and I know what it's like to find a really good book and just spend the whole weekend reading it, and I hope that I can inspire that in other people.
You're certainly doing a great job. Looks like you got another question. Is there a genre you really dislike? Because, sorry, I'm super out of it.
No, it's quite alright.
You can probably see the questions too. I'm just
trying to... is there... I tend to stay to my own genre. I don't dislike other genres, but I found that if I try and force myself to write a genre I'm not comfortable with, it just comes out bad. I've occasionally tried to write stories set in like the modern day, and it just ends up feeling really not like how I want it to.
That feels like whenever I try to write something that's not fantasy or not sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's like, what's the point? Why can't they just do magic or something?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Just mood. So what kind of software do you use for writing, plotting, storyboarding, if any? Has a particular program made things easier or more efficient?
I used to use Scrivener for a while. And then the Windows beta took like 3 years to get out of beta, and I was sick of it. I think they finally got out of beta, but they want me to pay for it. I'm like, I don't want to anymore.
I've been using Scrivener and I kind of like it, but
in general, I do like it. But I found that when I had to format it, I had to move over to Word anyway. So I changed it, and right now I'm working in Google Docs.
Always solid.
There is a program that's supposed to come out in the next weeks that looks really great.
Ooh.
So hopefully that's great, and then I'll use that. Yeah, you people tend to write their favorite genre and what they like to read, and sorry, I'm reading chat too.
Never apologize for reading chat. We love chat. Seriously, thank you everyone for coming out. Talking about writing is just the greatest thing. And hopefully I'll have more, hopefully I'll be able to talk to more writers in the future too. Is there anything else that we want to discuss? I'm peeking at my notes, and they're just like this incoherent mess of like, I love this, I love that, and I'm like, I don't want to spoil things for people.
I legit want a copy of those notes.
I will send you a copy in just a minute.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Necrocraft book is Secrets Intensify. You got one more question. If you don't feel like writing, what gets you into the mood? Reading or something else?
Reading actually works a lot. I read a lot of fan fiction.
As you
because
should.
I'm trash.
AO3?
Yeah. It was fanfiction.net, but then AO3's tagging system is just the best.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, Harry Potter fanfiction is my favorite thing in the universe.
Aw.
And I read a lot of it. So yeah, reading and realizing that these people are writing for free and they can't even get paid because it's fan fiction, but just doing it for the love of writing really helps.
Definitely.
Get me into sort of a writing feel. Music helps too. I have lots of anime soundtracks and playlists that I tend to put on, and that always helps. And sometimes I just play video games.
All right. Since we are on Twitch right now, just curious, got a favorite game right now?
Yeah, actually, I think it's currently super popular on Twitch because the new DLC just dropped. But it's the Binding of Isaac.
Okay, yeah, I've been meaning to play that. Oh my gosh, look who it is! It's everyone wonderful in the whole wide world. I don't know what name you're going by on Twitch, so I don't wanna. Ah, chat is full of wonderful people. Yay.
Thank you for being wonderful, chat.
We love you. We love all of you. Um Yes, we are wonderful. Yes, absolutely. um let's see.
Okay, now I want to ask you a question.
Hey, go for it.
So you have a couple of videos where you stream your writing here on Twitch.
I do.
How do you like that? Is that something you would recommend other people do?
It was really fun when I tried. I made the mistake of like editing stuff on Twitch instead of writing from scratch. So it was weird because I was like, should I be should I be like talking out loud as I'm should I be reading what I had said? Should I be you never really know if it's there's that awkward balance between like it's my idea but chat's here so I want chat to feel included.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, because I've been thinking about doing that, but I tend to write out of order. So I don't know how helpful that'll be when I start writing chapter 13 before chapter 1.
Yeah, because it's like, do you explain everything that's happening, or do you talk about something unrelated while you're writing? It's very confusing, but it's still fun.
Well, I'm glad that it's viable. I definitely will try it out at some point.
I definitely hope you do. I will definitely host when you do that, and try to plug your stuff as much as I can.
Aw, thank you. I'll have to ask you how to make the cute avatars move when we talk.
Ah, yes,
And
yes.
do that.
Reactive PNGs. It's really fun. So if anyone have anything else? Because I'm about ready to wrap it up if you are. I think.
Yeah, at most, I do want to say that I am also working on a second story set at the moment.
Yes, plug it away.
I only have the very first chapter up on Patreon right now. I want to get a good amount of backlog before I do it on World Road, but it's a more medieval werewolf story and lots of fun politics, magic, the usual you can get from me.
Yeah. Let me see if I can fight with my chat to get links to show up.
All right. Let's see. I can always link because the link seems to be working.
Moderation settings. Automod is off. Moderator tools. Da 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 da. Oh, great. Now I've totally broken my chat.
Broken chat. Oh no.
I broke all the things.
Okay.
What am I doing?
Okay, I'm sending 2 web novel links. One's Royal Road and one's Neovel. I mostly get reads over on Royal Road, but Neovel, Neo Read is new, and they pay authors by page read, so that's really nice of them.
Yeah, they're a really interesting thing you don't see very often. They actually care.
Yeah, so if you're like rereading my story and you want to passively pay me money, then just reread it on NeoRead and I'll get like $1.
Oh, have you looked into Tapas? Since Tapas Premium does something similar to Neoville.
Yeah, I was on Tapas for a while, but I wasn't getting too many views, and I was trying to cross post to all the places, so I
Yeah, you
went
are
a
like
bit
the
lower.
cross-posting queen.
Yeah, I think I was cross posting like 9 places at one point, and it just wasn't worth it because I'd get 100 views on Royal Road and then like 1 everywhere else.
Yeah. God, I'm thinking about Royal Road views compared to Wattpad.
Yeah, I had 0 new reads on Wattpad.
Oh, that's such a nightmare.
It's somehow the most popular, well-known of the sites, and yet there's so much stuff you can't find anything.
Yeah. And it looks like we missed one more question. Speaking of video games, have any movies or video games inspired you or your writing style, like Interview with a Vampire? Just make courting an Omega Wolf fiction. Oh my god.
No. No, I will not make it Omegaverse.
Cursed. So cursed.
That said, I do think it's very interesting. The Omegaverse universe is very interesting.
It is.
And it's kind of how one trope sort of became a huge thing. Like you see actual published books now in that subtrope. And in general, I like the themes of sort of worlds based on hierarchy and such, but it all devolves into porn immediately, so it passed.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I went on a bit of a rant. Again, lots of fan fiction here, so like I'm reading it and then it shows up and it's like, oh, this is gonna devolve soon.
Tempura versus beer battered chicken. Go.
I don't think I've had either. So,
oh, but tempura is so good.
I'll have to grab that next time I go out to a restaurant.
If we can ever go out ever again.
That's true. Or next time I use DoorDash to overprice buy overpriced food.
This interview was sponsored by DoorDash. I wish.
Please send me money, DoorDash. I need money and food. I'm a poor writer. I wonder if they DoorDash alcohol.
I think so, actually. Also, what is that noise outside of my window? I am so sorry if anyone heard that. That was
It's
some
the
like
DoorDash person running away.
Run away, run away. All right, so we've got links. We've got a promise to have tempura, and let's see. Oh, if you could get a sponsorship from any alcohol brand, what would it be?
I actually have no idea. I don't really drink.
Yeah, neither do I. So
I'd have to go with something that's mostly sugar and just alcohol in the background. So like I don't know, Bailey's or a liqueur of some kind.
uh-huh. It sounds like a ghost. Yeah. Yeah, it kinda did.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, question for both of us. When you write, do you give yourselves a time limit for a certain amount of words, or what's your usual plan? You want to go first?
Sometimes I'll do like sprints and I'll be like, okay, I have to write as much as I can in 15 minutes. But most of the time I'm doing something on YouTube and talking to someone else and I happen to have a writing window open and occasionally I'll get a few sentences in.
Yeah, I'm definitely the same. Sometimes sprints are great. It's really fun to force yourself to sprint. But usually it's just leaving a document up and kind of crying until something comes up.
Well, that sounds about right, yeah. Lately I've been a vampire. I've been staying up until like 7 or 8 in the morning and then crashing until like 5 in the afternoon. So if it's literally the middle of the night and there's no one else here, then suddenly I can write because I'm finally left all alone.
All right, you guys, you ready to wrap this up? maybe we'll do a part 2 some other time.
Sure. That would be super fun. This was great. I had fun.
This was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I loved hearing more about your work. Getting to have writer pals in the chat was super wonderful, and we'll be
I'm really
uploading this
glad
to
that you
YouTube in a day or so. I think I
Awesome.
have to wait like 24 hours because Twitch affiliate stuff. You have the like exclusivity thing. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
all of you
everybody.
guys. All right,
And
everyone.
thank you, Laika, for reading my story and liking it and inviting me here.
Well, thank you for writing it because it was fantastic. All right, everyone have a wonderful night or day or afternoon, and catch ya next time.